What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Today I'm doing a video branching off of our discussion about pitch tunneling, and I want to talk a little bit about a concept that is pretty much directly tied with pitch tunneling, and that is variation on pitch speed. And you can apply the same ideas to varying your pitch speed in order to get batters out within MLB The Show. And like I said in the original video, it's a pretty general concept, so I'm going to demonstrate it against the CPU. I know that some people left comments holding that against me in the first video, but to be honest with you, it's the same strategy. Whether you're going against a CPU or a user, it doesn't matter. You're trying to strike batters out, and you're going to approach it with very much the same mentality, especially within the game. You're going to be trying to strike batters out by trying to tunnel pitches, but also trying to vary speed. And so what I want to talk about is with a pitcher today, very much the same exact thing. So we're going to hop into a game, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So whenever we talked about pitch tunneling to start off with, it was getting the player, the batter, to commit to a ball at the point of no return, and ultimately your pitches end up in very different places. So they look like they're going to the same place to start out of the pitcher's hand, for example, but then they ultimately end up arriving at a final destination that is as far apart as possible. So you try to tunnel pitches in a way that gets batters to really not understand what's coming at them or commit to something that is different than what is actually being thrown in their direction. So if you guys haven't watched that video, go check that video out. I'll link it down below, and then we can hop into the discussion about how does that apply to our pitch speed or our pitch velocity within MLB The Show. So a very basic way to show you guys this concept would be the difference between maybe throwing a fastball and throwing a circle change. This is a combination that I use all the time, and really this is the same thing that you're employing, even probably without even thinking about it at times, within the game whenever you're doing pitch tunneling in general, because most of your off-speed pitches, most of your breaking pitches are going to be lower velocity than your fastballs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to power some fastballs into the zone and get the batter used to a fast pitch speed. Get them essentially used to seeing 96, 97 miles per hour on the fastball, and then they're going to be ready for a pitch that is coming in at that speed. So I've already thrown two. I'm going to go ahead and throw a third here. So he's now set up for a 97 mile per hour pitch. We know that he is, ready for that. He has gotten adjusted to the timing of it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a very slow circle change up inside the zone. We're going to try to throw it as slow as possible, and he doesn't even swing at it because he's not used to that. He's not prepared for the pitch that I was sending his way. So it's very much the same concept with pitch tunneling that it is with your velocity as well. And if you're not familiar with it, you want to become familiar with it, because that is a major way to get a batter on his heels and prevent them from knowing what's coming at them, preventing them from getting the bat on the ball, is changing pitch velocity and ensuring that they're getting used to one pitch velocity, and then all of a sudden you send something their way and they're either swinging out of their shoes at it, or they're not even ready to swing at it at all because it's such a different velocity than what you showed them in the first place. Now again, this concept applies very much in the concept of pitch tunneling, so it's even more effective if you're sending the ball in the same direction. So if we try to continually hit him with a fastball down and away, and he's getting used to that velocity down and away, he's going to be ready in this 2-0 count to potentially swing at this pitch. Well, if I go down and away now, it looks like this ball is going to the same place. He's maybe going to swing on it as if it's a 97 mile per hour fastball, but in reality the velocity is so much different that he's going to struggle to get the bat on the ball. He's going to struggle to hit that, and the velocity there is going to be such a change that prevents him from being able to hit the ball. So now he's maybe getting used to the slower pitches, the off-speed pitches that I was sending his way. So let's go ahead and hit him with a fastball. Changing that velocity is going to create problems systems, but it's the same concept. It keeps a player confused. It keeps a player on their heels and prevents them from being able to dial into exactly what's coming their way when it's all coming to the same spot. I just threw every single pitch down into that same corner, and in reality, he should have been able to make contact with that if it was the same pitch and he was getting used to it, but we were keeping him off balance with the types of pitches that we were throwing, which is the general concept of pitch tunneling, but we were also keeping him off balance with the velocity of those pitches, showing him a couple of slower balls and he got used to it, and then sending him a couple of fastballs that he was struggling to catch up to. So I'm going to go ahead here and try to get you one more really good example. To this point, I don't feel like we've gotten a perfect example of what I'm talking about, but I'm going to try to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to send him fastballs down into that bottom hand corner, and I'm going to try to get him to swing through a slower pitch in the same location. So we're going to go circle change up, down and away. Again, this is going to be a 10-mile-per-hour difference, and he's going to struggle to hit anything that is 10 miles per hour different going to the same exact location that we were sending that fastball. So you can see he swings right through it. That's exactly what I wanted to show you guys. The difference is we were sending a 95-mile-per-hour pitch to the same exact spot that we were, or roughly the same spot that we were sending a 84-mile-per-hour pitch. And when you really combine these things together, when you combine the variation on the pitch type and the pitch tunneling concept of trying to get it to look like it's going to the same place and then breaking away, and then you combine that with your ability to change velocity and keep the batter off balance, you're going to have a lot of success with pitching within the game. And like I said, I'm not ever going to be the best person to describe this entire process. That's just simply not the case. I'm not the most educated person on baseball, but this information nonetheless is a pretty general concept that I've been able to research and gain enough information on to help relay it to you guys so you guys can utilize it in your game and hopefully continue to implement it to improve your pitching within MLB The Show. I have success all the way up through Hall of Fame difficulty, and I'm able to successfully pitch very long games, and I've had some shutouts on Hall of Fame difficulty. So like I said, hopefully this information does help you guys out in some way. If it does, leave a like on the video down below, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a good one.